All right. So sampling is basically a scientific, let me see what Daniel says. There are different methods you use to get information from people in a specific way. All right. So that is very true, Danielle. So it's not only people you can get this information from, actually. A lot of most of the scientific methods are for use with people. Thank you. Put it up on just, sorry about that. Yes, start the slideshow from the start. Thank you. I'm so excited. All right. Everybody seeing the screen? Awesome. 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 Good. All right. So next page, my dear.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we're ready to start. Hold
Yes,
on.
we're ready. All right. We're going to roll. I'm going to try not to pass the time.
All right, let me just unmute my mic.
All right. All right, we're ready now. So, you know that the population is the entire group being investigated. And remember, Danielle had said that sampling is a method that you use to get information about from people, right? But sometimes we're not just investigating people. We can investigate trees, we can investigate fish, we can investigate birds. What are some other things that we could probably investigate? What are some other population of items we can investigate? I want to see if you guys have any ideas. Right, different animals. Insects, that's correct. All right, let's leave it right there. I'm good with those. So we can investigate different animals, different insects, right? So if we're gonna go out now, we're not gonna try to gather information from the entire population, right? Because that would be too time consuming. So next slide, please. We're gonna do some sampling. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. So the sample is usually the subset of the population, and we have to get a sample that represents the population so we can draw conclusions about the entire population. You can work with me, man. You can go to the next slide. These are just explanatory. Whenever I start discussing, we can stop. All right, so sampling methods are how we select members from the population, right? So there are different ways how we can get the information, yeah? Some of them are not so accurate and some of them are more accurate. So we're gonna look at the non-biased and the biased, yeah? So the non-biased is where every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. And I was gonna do a little grab bag exercise with you guys. So I'm just gonna get my little grab bag so I can show you, apart from the screen, how we can get some stuff done. So we have the non-biased where every single member of the population has an equal chance, and the biased is where some of the members are more likely to be selected. Let's continue. So the non-biased sampling methods are the simple random, the systematic random, the stratified random, and the cluster. We're gonna look at those soon. You can, yes, man, you can move along. And the bias, there are two bias sampling methods where you have the convenience and you have the voluntary. And we're gonna be looking at all of these. Let's go along. So the non-bias, the first one we mentioned was a simple random. And it's where each member of the population is randomly chosen. And so one example is that I would put your name. So I see Daniel, Joel, Robin, and Jordan in the class, right? So can everybody see me as well? I'm not sure if you guys can see me. Just type in yes if you can see me. All right, awesome. I'm glad that, all right, nice. All right, so I can't see myself, so I'm gonna hope that you can see what's in my hand. So the first name I have is Jordan, right? I'm just gonna fold this name and put it into my little brown bag. The next one I have is Danielle, right? I'm gonna fold her name and put it into my bag. I'm gonna fold Joel's name and put it into my bag as well. Don't mind my little untidy tearing. I was trying to rush just now. And I have Robin's name, and I'm gonna fold up her name and put into my bag. I'm gonna just shake around, shake around, shake around. And guess what? Because it's simple random, everybody has an equal chance of their name being called, right? So if I take out the first one without even looking in the bag, right? Let me see whose name I got. The first name is Jordan, yeah? And this is a simple random method. Now, why is this non-biased? Can anybody tell me why it's non-biased? It's basically, it's right in what I just said. Why is it non-biased?
Because it gives everybody a chance, an equal chance.
Awesome, awesome. So let's move right along to the next slide. Awesome. So after simple random, we have, all right. So let's go back. Let's look at that. Let's look at that picture, please. All right. So if you can see clearly this example, it's just selecting, we're not having any type of pattern, it's just selecting any person. And that's how you do that kind of sampling method. Let's move along. All right, click one more time so we can see the picture as well. No, go back. Yes, good. We're looking at systematic. Click again so we can see the picture. Thank you. So systematic. So in this one, members of the population are placed in some order and then they're selected using a pattern. For example, if we went into a classroom, right? And I remember that, have you ever heard teachers group you up by apple, banana, pear, and mango, or some kind of method like that? And they say all the apples come together, all the pears go together, all the bananas go together. All right. So instead of grouping them up into the cluster, which we'll look at soon, right? Where we would say we'll skip from the first one and then probably the next apple and skip to the next apple and skip to the next apple. So there's a systematic way of doing it. There's a certain pattern, yeah? And if you look at that picture, we start at a certain house and then you skip 2 houses, then the other house. You skip 2 houses, then the other house. Then you skip 2 houses and you choose the other house. Yeah? So it's in a systematic approach. Now, why is this non-biased? I want you guys to think about it. Why would this one be non-biased?
Because it's still not favoring any group of people or any person.
All right. And I want the next person to tell me why it's not favoring any person. Why? Why is it not favoring any person? Because remember, it's in a pattern in us, so why it's not favoring anybody? All right, I'll tell you why, guys. I'll tell you why. So the first person is random, right? Yeah? Remember, I want to see your yeses, you know. All right. So the first person is random. So if the first person is random, everybody else in that pattern has a chance of being chosen. Let's skip the slide now. The next one we're going to look at is stratified. Now, this one now is where the population is divided into groups with different similarities. And then a sample is then randomly selected using the members from each group. So in this one, we're going to group the boys together. We're going to group the girls together. And then we're going to randomly select from each group and then collate that. Yeah? All right, the next one. The cluster is what I was talking about before. But this cluster now, let me explain the cluster. So members are divided into groups again. And I want someone to explain to me why the cluster is different from stratified. So the cluster, members are divided into groups, but each cluster must contain all the characteristics found in the larger population. Yeah? So if in the larger population now, we have some colors. We have red, blue, pink, and green. In each cluster, what should we have? Let me call the colors again. Red, blue, pink, and green. What should we have in every single cluster? There we go. There we go. So if you look on the screen, you'll see red, blue, pink, and green. Just like in our example, you're gonna be looking at if you look at the yellow guy, I don't know what color that is. Right, look at the yellow guy and the blue guy. So the sample group that we select, what's going on here? The sample group that we select should have the yellow guy and the blue guy, yeah? But if we're gonna find a cluster with all blues, we can't use that cluster. If we're gonna find all yellow, we can't use that cluster. Understood? Thank you. So let's move right along. Yes, yes, all right. So before we move along, somebody tell me in the comment section, before we go on to the bias, what is the difference between stratified and the cluster? You can skip back so they can see what stratified is, just for them to have a little brush up. All right, so now we remember what the cluster is and we see what stratified is again. Somebody tell me in the comment section what the difference is. Wow, wow, awesome. Did everybody see what Daniel just typed in?
Shola, just give me
Yes.
1 minute. I'm going to leave the breakout room and come back in. A student fell out of the breaking room and he needs somebody to add them back in. So I'm going to do that real quick.
All right, thank you so much.
All right.
All right, did everybody see what Daniel had on the screen?
Hi, Jumin and Natari. So Jumin, you're supposed to be in wetlands and Natari, you're supposed to be in tropical forest, right? Okay, so I'm going to add you guys back into your respective break rooms. All right, I'm joining back.
Are accessible, probably they are easier to find,
Yeah.
probably
So I'm back
they
now, Shola. I just
thank
have
you
to add.
so much. Right, close
Oh,
proximity, right, there we go. Next slide, please.
all right.
All right.
I think we're
All right.
Oh,
I
would
know,
I think I went
right.
back? This is the
Yes.
side. All right.
So said that they might be in close proximity, and that is it. And more things that might be convenient is that you like them more. Probably, you just favor this one more than the other ones, right? For example, I have a bag of Skittles and I might like the purple one better than I like the blue ones. So I might be choosing, my mind might be telling me to choose the purple ones more, yeah, than the blue ones and the red. And the
So,
yellow one,
just in case you might not notice, Natari had just joined the break room, so I'm not sure if
I
he's
did.
following. So
I
just
did.
to make sure.
I did.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right.
So part of our class.
Yeah, he's a part of the class, but he wasn't
Oh,
in it previously, so I just added him.
welcome to our class, Natari. We're gonna do a little from the questions. You'll get to see what we're talking about. Hopefully, if you don't understand, say I don't understand, miss, and we can just go through, and the students who were here before can, you know, share what they've learned with you. Okay. All right. So let's look at it one more time. So let's look at the whole population in this picture, right? You have yellow, you have orange, you have red. No problem, I understand. You have red, you have green, you have light blue, you have dark blue, you have purple. But look at the ones that, oh, you have pink and you have gray. But look at the sample that the person chose. You realize what was being chosen? The red and the whatever was at the bottom part. So they actually missed out a whole heap of colors. That lighter purple one up the top, that orange, that yellow, only some were chosen because they chose what was convenient to them. And it doesn't usually represent the entire population. Give me a second, guys. All right, so sorry about that. Let's skip to the next slide. The other biased one is a voluntary response. Have you guys ever been on any kind of call, like to Lime or Digicel, and they tell you to do a little short survey after you call them? Or has anybody heard of that? Or has anybody asked you to do us? All right. How many of you ever do? All right, sometimes. How many of you ever actually answer their survey questions after the call is finished? And I want you to be very honest. Right. We usually hang up the phone, right? Sometimes we do and never. All right. So look at that. So if they were supposed to be doing a sampling method, because it's a voluntary response and it's up to us to choose whether or not we want to do it, exactly. We're thinking it's a waste of our precious credit while they want the information. So if we were the sampler and we want people to volunteer in giving this information, we wouldn't get the right amount of answers from the entire population, right? Because automatically some are disqualifying themselves from becoming a part of the sample group, right? And it's usually the ones who really want to answer. Sometimes they're getting the same kind of responses. So they might feel as if the population wants people to raise the amount of fees when the entire population doesn't believe so. Just like how we have elections from time to time, every single 4 years or 5 years, right? And somebody may be going out doing a poll, and they may use a voluntary kind of poll, or they may use a convenience type of poll. Because a lot of times, you know, we use people who we're closest to, or we go to different offices. But guess what? If we're gonna go to the middle class population, we're gonna miss out the higher class, and we're gonna miss out the lower class, right? Yes. So convenience and voluntary are very biased, it's very non-random, and they're usually the poorly chosen types of sampling methods. Before we go further, let me see you type in the comment section, what are the non-biased or random types of sampling methods? The ones that you really, you get a very higher rate of satisfaction. You're almost confident enough. All right, they're gonna tell you, Natari. So just hold on and wait on the other students to share them right here. So cluster, right? Daniel, no more from you. No more from you, Daniel. Waiting on the others to tell. I like to see all right, stratified, Jordan, good job. Systematic, right? And the other one. The grab bag one. Remember the grab bag one we shake up and we just choose from the bag without even looking? There we go. Jordan, I never want it from you, you know. I did not want it from you. I wanted it from Robin. But thank you so much. All right, let's move right along. So, Natari, did you see those? Before we move along, did you see those, Natari? Skip back for me, please, my dear. Okay, all right. I totally understand. Natari, did you see all of those?
You want me to go back up from the start?
No, sir.
Okay.
Just stay right there.
All right.
Just asking Natari if he saw the answers. All right, probably Natari's internet is in and out again. All right. And I really want him to come for a little recap, you know.
All right, hold on. I'm going to just leave one second. Somebody's in the wetlands, and because I'm the host, I'm the one have to be doing the break room. So it's not going to take more than
understand. Just screen before you move, please.
What?
Just keep the screen one time before you move on.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so in the comment section, guys, just type in what the simple random is about. So I want someone just to, not Danielle, thank you so much. I want someone to.
Jermaine, you keep getting kicked out?
Oh no, Mr. Cabot just died.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay, all right, all right. I'm going to put you back in.
Probably, you know. All right, so let me choose. Robin, are you here? Robin, are you here? All right, Robin just answered. If I remember correctly, simple random is when. All right, continue writing, please. Oh, who answered? I did not see. Oh, you answered, Joel? All right. Okay, good job. So each member of the population is randomly chosen. There we go. All right. Hold on for me. Hold on. All right. And then the systematic is what? What happens in the systematic? Since Robin was trying to finish that sentence, let's see what Robin has to say about systematic. No, my dear, don't skip yet, please. Go back. Go back, please. Just skip back. Thank you, Joel. And thank you, Robin. All right, so the members of the population is placed in some order and are selected using a pattern. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the first person is randomly selected. Yes, just go back one bit. Yes, thank you so much. So the first person in the population is randomly chosen, and then there we go.
You guys are hearing me?
I am hearing you. So there's some order afterwards using a pattern. Awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. All right, so let's look at the first question. So a TV show host asks his viewers to visit his website and respond to an online poll. What is the answer here? Is it simple random sample? Is it a stratified random sample? Is it a cluster? Or is it none of the above? Just put A, B, C, or D. When I need to see, You're writing out everything. A, B, C, or D. All right, one person says D, two person says D. What does the other person say? It's not a big class now, so I want to see everybody's answer. All right. Okay, so since it's D, you can click one time. So since it's D, right? What is the answer? What type of sample is it? Stay right there. What type of sample is it? Ah, yes, there we go. It's voluntary. Let's move right along. A school chooses 3 randomly selected athletes from each of its sports teams to participate in a survey about athletics at the school. Is it A, simple random? Is it B, stratified random? C, cluster random? Or D, none of the above? Let's see your answers. A school chooses 3 randomly selected athletes from each of the sports team to participate in a survey. All right, I see one person said B, one person says A. I see one person says yes. All right, I love this. All right, I see B, A, B. All right, what does the other person say? B, all right. So I'm gonna ask, it's not picking on you, Joel, but I wanna ask you why you chose A.
Joel is actually Jazz using his model.
Say it again. Say it again.
I was saying that it's actually Jazz and not Joel. They're using models Zoom chat, I believe.
Okay. So Jazz, thank you so much for that. So Jazz, I'm so sorry I've been calling you Joel all along. So Jazz, tell me why you said A. I just wanted to explain. Can he, oh, all right. All right, no problem. Because I really wanted to hear the explanation for that one, but it's actually B. And it's actually B because, I'm gonna ask Jazz again, why is it B, Jazz? This is the application part, you know. So I want to know why it is B. Can anybody help Jazz? I have a special question for Jazz, you know. All right, so 1, they were randomly selected, but that could have been simple random. So what makes it stratified random? You can click one more time, my dear. What makes it stratified random? There's a big part, you know, of why it is stratified and not simple. And I'm not gonna tell the answer because I really want to see where you guys' minds are. All right, somebody help Jazz, please. I know he's probably typing, but somebody can help him. No more arm rubbing. You can skip the page one time. Right there. All right. So you know that they were placed in different sports teams. And so therefore you'd have a cricket team, you'd have a football team, or whatever other teams you'd have, right? So they're placed in some type of order, and then they're randomly selected. Yeah? Awesome. So let's move right along to the next one. I want you guys to see if you get that, you know. I want you to get that. So the stratified, right, there we go. So the stratified is where they're placed into order first, and they will randomly select. So this third question says, all right, awesome. I love this chat. I love this chat. So the third one is that a principal orders t-shirts and wants to check some of them to make sure they are printed properly. She randomly selects 2 of the 10 boxes and checks every shirt in those 2 boxes. So let me read it again, because it's a long question. A principal orders t-shirts and wants to check some of them to make sure they're printed properly. She randomly selects 2 out of the 10 boxes and checks every shirt in those 2 boxes. Which type of sample method is this? All right. Where are the rest of the answers? C, all right. C, okay. So wait, or B, okay. So I have 1A, 1B, 1C. Where's the next one? So Robin, you have to choose though, you know, which answer is it? All right, you're going with C. All right, let's see what the correct answer is. Let's skip the screen one time. There we go. And I love that you guys were really thinking about this. Because remember, you know, the t-shirts that were ordered, right? She's randomly selecting 2 of the 10 boxes that should have a representation of every single box. Yeah? And then her checking every t-shirt gave it away. So she checking every t-shirt in this subset group of the entire population is showing that she's doing a cluster random sample. There we go. There we go. Awesome. All right, let's move it right along. A concert venue offers tickets in 3 zones. Sorry about the numbering, it's number 4. So this one is for Jazz, you know. I don't want anybody to help Jazz now, or Robin. So I want to hear from Robin and Jazz. So a concert venue offers tickets in 3 zones: the orchestra, the grand tier, and the balcony. Tickets in the orchestra zone are most expensive, while tickets in the balcony zone are least expensive. So the managers of the venue want to survey approximately 150 guests. They want to take a stratified random sample of guests based on the venue zone. So A, will they invite the first 150 guests that arrive to participate? B, will they select every 10th guest who arrives? C, will they randomly select a row and invite every guest in that row to participate? And then continue to randomly select persons until 150 guests have been selected? Or D, randomly select 50 persons from each zone? What are they going to do? This one is easy, 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 easy if you're really thinking about the question, you know. So this one calls you to think. What's the answer, guys? All right, let me check the chat room. All right, so Jazz says D. And what does Robin say? Robin, waiting on you. So it's either C or D. All right. All right, let's look at A. Don't skip the page yet. It's okay. I love that you're still processing. So let's look at A. If you invite the first 150 guests that arrive to participate, what kind of sampling is this? Everybody can answer now. No, not quite, Daniel. There you go, Jordan. Convenience. Because remember, you know, the first set, that's what I was saying, it's not just about close proximity or which one you favor, but if we're gonna take just the first 150, then what happened to everybody else? We're not even sure if the first 150 was just from one zone. So that's not really stratified, right? So that's convenience. So how about B? What is it about selecting every 10th guest who arrive? Which sample is that? Which sampling method is this? There we go. It's systematic because there's a pattern. All right, let's look at C. Why is it C? Why is it or is it not C? So if you're gonna randomly select a row and invite every guest in that row to participate.
So one of your participants follows Matari. I'm going to add him back.
Realize.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't realize? All right.
Yes, time.
Okay.
All right. So why is it C or not C?
Natari, I'm going to be adding you back to the group. And William, you're supposed to be in wetlands.
Cluster. Thank you, Natari. Welcome back. So it wouldn't be cluster because remember, let me see the screen is there. Right, nice. All right, it wouldn't be cluster because remember now we know every single zone has a different type of persons, right? So you have the orchestra, the grand tier, and the balcony, right? And we know that in a cluster, what has to be present? In a cluster, what detail have to be present for it to be cluster? There we go. So every single, not necessarily same characteristic, not necessarily the same characteristic, Robin, but every person have to mix up in this subset for it to be cluster. So it would have to be where you have the balcony, the grand tier, and the orchestra people mix up in that row. And we know that's not possible because they're already in different zones. And then as you had guessed, Robin, C or D, and as Jazz had said, rightly D, is that you're randomly selecting 50 tickets from a zone, just like the question before, where we were, well, the question before that question, where we're randomly selecting, we're randomly pulling from a certain area. So we had mixed them up already. We had separated them into different zones. Let's go back to let's see the question that had the stratified. Go back a bit for me, please. Let's compare with another example. Go back, please. Right, there we go. So remember this one, guys? Remember this one? Where they were already divided into sports teams and then we randomly pull? It's the same thing in the theater. They were divided into different areas and they were randomly pulled. All right, continue to the other question. Nice. Next, this one now. So the next one, question number 5, is a teacher asks the first 5 students who arrive to class to participate in a research. Which one is it? Is it A, B, C, or D? Is it A, systematic? Is it B, stratified? Is it C, cluster? Or D, none of the above? All right, let's see the other answers. All right. So most persons said D. One person said systematic. Let's just explain what systematic is for you really quick, Natari, because I realized that you were off. So systematic is where we randomly choose one person. We put everybody in a certain order, right? And then we randomly select the first person. And then we use a certain pattern afterwards to select the other members of this sample group. So it can't be systematic. If we're going to use only the first 5 students, which one is this, guys? We chose D already. So which sample? You can click it one time because D is the correct answer. Which sample method is it really? I want to see the chat sliding up now, you know. Click it one more time for me, please, darling. Narika? Thank you. Convenience. Does everybody agree? Awesome. It's convenient because the first 5 students. All right. Let me give you another question just off the top of my head. If I was supposed to sample a certain area, right? I'm supposed to sample Jamaica. And I choose St. Thomas, Portland, Kingston. What type of sampling method is this? Type it up real quick in the chat. I'm supposed to sample the entire, I'm supposed to take a sample from Jamaica, you know, and I choose St. Thomas, Kingston, and Portland. Which sample method is this? It is convenience. There we go. Because all of them are in the same region. So it may be convenient to me, but it doesn't really take in consideration places that are in the central region or in the western region, right? Next question. I think this one is the last one or second to last one. Let's move on to the next question. Yes, I do know. Thank you so much. So let's move to the next one.
I'm trying to, for some reason it's not.
Okay. We'll wait on this one. All right. So
Okay.
after this one, we have one more question, guys. So let's move through this one quickly. Each law firm in a parish registers its phone number with the parish court. An employee of the parish uses a computer to select 500 random registered phone numbers and the law firm associated with these phone numbers, right? What is the type of method we're using? What's the type of method we're using, guys? Is it A, systematic, B, stratified, D, cluster, or D, simple? C, cluster, or D, simple? For interest of time, here, there we go, there we go. There we go. Simple, because they're randomly chosen. Next question and last question for today. And I'm so proud of you. Next question.
Come in, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, this is
Our last question is number 6 or 7, not sure. A support hotline asks callers to stay on the line. Everybody know this one. A support hotline asks callers to stay on the line after they have completed their call to respond to a short survey. What is the answer? What kind of sampling is this? Right. It is volunteer. Thank you so much, guys. We have reached the end of today's lesson. I hope that you guys learned so much. As you realize, we have different sampling methods. You can skip it 1, 2 more times. You're most welcome. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of the classes for the day. You have different sampling methods you can always use and refer to. Some are more helpful than some, but in sometimes you have to use, even though some are not so helpful, there are times where you might find yourself having to use certain methods. Yeah? Awesome. Smiley faces to all of you guys. I had fun with you guys. And Natari, we're going to speak to you because probably you can come to our class tomorrow so you can catch up on what you did not get today. All right? All right. So have a wonderful day, guys. And thank you so much, Narika.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we went a little bit over time because they're supposed to be on their break now. So they have around, yeah, so they have around 16, around 17 minutes of break, and then they're supposed to be having their presenter. For my session that I just had with you guys on biochemistry and living things, what I will be doing is putting up an assessment / activity for you guys to do on Google Classroom. So either look out for that at the end of the day or probably by tomorrow morning, but definitely try to do it over the weekend or on Friday. So yes, you can look out for that. But for now, we're going to be ending the break rooms and we're going back into the main session because we're going to be having one big presenter. So thank you guys again for coming. I hope you really enjoyed what Shola had to say. Really always enjoy having her. Shola is so lively and interactive with all the students. Thanks again, Shola.
You're most welcome. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
All right. Okay. Later, Shola.
Later.
Okay.